Hey, this is Chris from Canine Solutions Training Services. I wanted to show you a few clips of last night's protection training with Hadouken. Manson family Bandog's Hadouken. I know some people like the way I train and some people hate the way I train. I don't give a fuck. Train the way you want to train. This is just the way we train. Most of everything that I see in protection work now is send the dog, courage test, send the dog, courage test, maybe a call off, redirect, courage test. So what that means is that everybody's just testing the dog on every bite. Carjacking, test the dog. Training, test the dog. So anyway, with Hadouken, what we're working on here is teaching him beginning of a passive bite, and then Walker, who's the decoy, will crack the whip, and we're teaching him to punch in when he hears adversity, when he hears an environmental stimulation that might freak him out. It's not going to freak him out, but crack, punch, crack, punch. So it's always in. Everything's in. So we start off with this, and then I'll talk to you about the next clip. Take a look.
Breathe, just dead breathe. Come this way, Austin. Don't shoot from behind the decoy. Just wait. Crack the whip.
So you see what I'm talking about here with the passive bite starting off. So Walker's not doing much fighting, and it's the beginning of it. So now this next clip is Q-Tip Dylan, who is literally standing still, and Hadouken just gets sent, and he absorbs it, but he doesn't do too much moving. So that's just a test to see if he'll bite a static target. So after that, Dylan tries to get him to stop venting. He's turning away, trying to get out from in front of the decoy. I want the dog right in front of the decoy. And so he flips him around, and then he starts working with stick hits. And Dylan's kind of a pussy at first. And you'll watch the same thing. Remember with Walker, it was whip, crack, punch, whip, crack, punch. Now it's hit, punch, hit, punch. So the taps with the stick, the hits with the stick, they stop when the dog punches. So that teaches the dog to defeat the environmental object. Or, in other words, when you're feeling environmentally challenged, you punch in harder, fight through it. So take a look at this.
Yeah. Tap, stick them on. Now let him push. Then stop sticking, right? When he pushes, you stop. There. When he pushes, you stop. Good. Walk this way. Oh. So you get right out. Attaboy. Nice work. Switch hands to the stick, yeah. Yeah, good.
In this next clip, Dylan thinks that he can esquive Hadouken on the slick floor, but Hadouken's been taught pivot leg, and he goes pivot leg. So now, when he does pivot leg, Dylan's going to use another form of opposition with Hadouken, and he's going to kind of choke him out a little bit. He's not really, but he's going to put it on him. So now, again, the dog pushes through, the grip comes off. Push through, grip comes off. You start with that, and then eventually you build it up and build it up and build it up until the dog just doesn't even feel the adversity, and he's seen just about everything that you can throw at him. So check that out.
He's going to take what he wants. So remember what I told you. He's not comfortable with it.
So in this next clip, Hadouken's gone pivot leg again on Walker, and he's got a kind of a precarious bite. So what we want to do here is train the dog or teach the dog that he can get a better grip when he puts himself in a better position. So I have Walker throw his leg over the dog. So he takes from, well, you'll see it. He throws his leg over the dog and makes the grip even worse. And then what we've got to do is teach Hadouken to come through the legs to get a better bite. It's just another opposition training that we do. We just do it all the time. So it may seem like, well, why do people do that? Why do people do that? Because real personal protection is very different than a pattern. But when a dog has seen just about everything you can throw at it in a personal protection training, and then you teach it the pattern, you're going to get a better result. So watch, Hadouken doesn't get it really quickly here, and I'll show you another clip in a couple months, and Walker will step over and Hadouken will squirt through and punch. That's what we're trying to go for here. So take a look at that.
No. Step over front leg. Step over front leg. Step over. Here you go. Walk. Have him try to teach him to come through. Just freeze. There it is. There it is. He just did it.
Okay, so in this last clip, my giant, fat, old, broken ass gets to teach a very young decoy with a lot more athleticism how to do a pretty cool esquive. Hadouken's gassed, he's tired, so he's probably going to get beat on this one. In fact, he does get beat on this one. But once he gets beat, Dylan pays with ass meat, meaning that Hadouken's a little pissed off that he got esquived from a standstill, and he punishes Dylan. It's ugly. So watch really closely in the slow-mo. There's actually 3 esquives in one move, and that happens because of the way I tell Dylan to move. The dog goes pivot leg, but then a leg comes by him. He goes for that. So you got the pivot leg was 1. He goes for the mobile leg, that's 2. And then he goes for the arm that's coming over his head, that's 3. And then Dylan gets steps on him hard. Now remember, through all this stuff, for everybody who says, oh, Hadouken's really slow, Hadouken's this, Hadouken's that, well, he's not a greyhound, but he's on a tile floor. So the advantage is all the decoys. Later on, we'll do some footage on grass, and you can kind of see that he's much, much quicker on grass. So I like training on the tile floor because it slows the dog down, it frustrates him, and it gives the decoy the chance to learn. Just bring that leg over as light and fast. So you're going to do this, right? You're here.
Why would I just push?
Here you go.
Oh, now I did it.
Because I'm telling you to do something else.
On my way to my fucking platform right now.
Yeah. So you go
We run how to skate up over his head.
way the fuck up over his head.
And then it's gonna
Get down there.
pop. Now you're gonna pay. Ask me. Oh yeah. Now you're gonna pay. You see what happened? Too much came out of my once.
Oh my god!
Freeze up. Freeze up. Yeah. Freeze up. Freeze up. Freeze up. There you go.
If you're into protection and you want to come to class, check it out. We do heavy environmental stuff and real personal protection. K9STS.com. Give us a call, and you're always welcome. Thanks for watching.